to our channel. Today I'm going to be talking about this cage and all the good and the bad that comes with it. This is probably the most popular ferret cage on the market and I really like it, so I wanted to talk a little bit about it. The lighting is going to be super wonky in this video because it's been raining all day. It is super gloomy and it's just not doing it for me today, so I'm going to show you closer up. So we are going to talk about the cage today. Yes we are. Yes we are. Want to say hello to the camera? Want to say hello? Whoa. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so this is the Ferret Nation Model 182. It's by Midwest Homes for Pets. There's also a cage called the Critter Nation, which is very similar. I just think the bar sizing and is a little bit different. So the bars on this, the spacing is a 1-inch space. So your ferret should not be able to squeeze out of this. Anything bigger than that would probably be fair game. It is 36 inches in length and then 25 inches in width. Then it is like 64 inches in height. It is very tall for a cage. It is taller than me. I think we might be the same height, I can't really tell, but it is an extremely tall cage and it is an extremely wide cage. So you can't really tell because I have my blackout cover on, but it's pretty wide. This is the blackout cover. I got it on Amazon and it was a very good purchase. I'm really happy I bought this because without it, a lot of light gets let in, which is good and bad because ferrets naturally live in a hole in the ground in the wild, so they live in burrows. So I like to try to emulate that as best as I can, and this cover does a really good job. So it's pushed to the side right now, but you can pull it up front, velcro it in the middle, and it will completely black out the cage, which is really nice. It includes 2 pans, 2 shelves, 3 ramps, and 3 ramp covers. So there's 4 doors here. There's 2 up here, 2 here, and this is what the latch system looks like. So you push this and it will bring this thingy up and down. I want to say that especially in the top ones, I don't know if it's just because I assembled it kind of not correctly, but it can be kind of difficult to lock these in place. So sometimes I'll go to do that, and then you'll see at the bottom the peg isn't completely in the hole, so I'll have to like push it in really hard, which is kind of annoying. I mean, there have been many times where I thought that I locked up the top part of the cage, but I really didn't, and unfortunately they were roughhousing in the top part. They pushed against the doors and they fell down, and this is a pretty big drop. I have heard many stories of ferrets falling from the top of the Ferret Nation. You really have to be careful during cleaning. I always have these bottom ones closed when I'm doing the top, and then that way they don't fall out, because it's happened many times. There have been times where I went to get them from the top part of the cage and then I forgot to close the door. It's just to be safe. It can be a very dangerous cage if you're not careful. The other annoying thing about this cage is the doors will just swivel back closed. I don't know if that's just because, again, assembly error. I don't know. But let's talk about assembly for a second. So this took 2 people to put together the first time around, and it was hard. I'm not gonna lie. It says no tools, needed, but I'm gonna close this. You see, you have to like push the door in every time I lock it. But anyways, it took 2 people, and we actually did have to get a hammer because not all the pieces will fit together well. Although the second time around when I put this cage together, I learned that if you just switch around the parts, they usually will fit together, but you can't do that with every part. But yeah, so I recommend having 2 people to help you out. It goes a lot faster. The pieces are very heavy. It's a very, very, very heavy cage. Now, they do have wheels at the bottom, which is nice. They do sell a cage that is just like this one level, and that's the single Ferret Nation, although I always recommend to get the double unit. Some people even get a 3rd unit on top, which is pretty crazy to me, but I think it would be good if your ferret is in the cage for a long period of time. My ferrets are only in this cage right now when they want to sleep. It is totally optional for them to go in here. Other than that, they have the entire bedroom to sleep and play in. They usually will sleep under my bed instead of the cage, but in the past, they have really, really liked this cage. So let's talk about what I have in it. This is a very, very, very dull, sort of boring, monochromatic cage setup that I have going on, but let's talk about it. So, their favorite beds are cat beds, especially when they're flat like this. They love, 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 love them. And the cages do come with, I think, 2 sets of stairs, 3 sets of stairs. So I do have one back there, and then you can put one here and then one here. But if you have young ferrets that are very agile and mobile, they don't really need the ladders in the cage. I might add that when they're in here more often once I move out. Also, I got a pack of baby blankets, which have been super, super cool. They're all really, really cute. I use them as liners here. You can, of course, get full actual liners that people make for this cage, but I just really like the baby blankets. I think they're so cute, and they're multi-purpose too. So you can use them as cage liners, and you can use them as actual blankets. So that's what this one, I always cover, pro tip, cover your beds with some sort of blanket so you don't have to keep washing the bed over and over again. You can just wash, you know, it's kind of like a person bed. And then back here I have No Face and Totoro. I don't keep these in the cage. This is just for show for you guys today because I do not like keeping toys in the cage. You never know what is going to happen, and ferret blockages are so common, and so many ferrets will succumb to that, unfortunately, and not make it, and they require emergency surgery, and I just like to avoid that altogether by not putting toys in here. They are not huge on toys anyways. They like the ones that, you know, I drag around and I play with them, but not really, they don't really play with toys on their own. And then I have a hammock here. This is by Pets Galore Studio. I will link them down below. They are a great friend of mine. She is so talented. She makes hammocks, she makes beds, cubes, collars. All of my collars for the boys and Momo are made by her. I love what she does. She does such an amazing job, and I definitely recommend checking her out. If you have a Ferret Nation cage that you're looking to deck out, she will help you. My ferrets really like this hammock. It's super soft, super light. I love this sort of hammock. And then we have a ferret cube that I actually got from a drugstore. So this was actually a cat cube. So what it does is you can push this top part down and it will become a cat bed, but the ferrets really like it when it's a cube like this. It's nice and dark in here, and if it's like a super bright day, sometimes I will turn it this way so they're not facing the window, but right now I just have it this way. And then I have a really soft plush blanket in there for them, and then my 2 baby blankets here, they have a little opening down that way which leads here. So I have a clip-on crock. A couple of you were asking which brand I got in my last video, one of my older videos here. I'm not exactly sure what the brand was. This was meant for rabbits though. I just remember there was like a rabbits on a picture of a bunny on the packaging, but it's really cool, these clip-on Crocs, because you just twist them on and then they stay put, and they still kind of dig the water out a little bit, but they can't make nearly as much mess with a regular, you know, water bowl. And then I have a thin, sort of soft little mat here, and then I leave the back part empty because that's where they stash their meat, and it's extremely disgusting. This is a hammock that I got off of Amazon. I do like it. I think it's very durable. They go in it like that. They don't ever use it though. My ferrets aren't huge on hammocks, but I do like this one, and kind of fits the theme of the cage. Now this, I love this. So it's like a little plush mouse sleeping sack. They do love using this, although rather than going inside like they're supposed to, they kind of just lay on top of it, which is fine. However, you know, however they want to use it. And then I have another cat bed that kind of comes up on the top, on the sides. Sorry, Howl's. Are you looking at biting my knees? Are you looking at biting my knees? Here, let's see if he'll demonstrate here. That's usually where they sleep. And then this is a cat bed. They like the flatter one more. The sides kind of, I don't know, they don't really like it as much. And then I have a tiny, they have a tiny baby blanket in here that I actually used when I was a little baby. And they like that a lot as well. Hi, Appa. We're doing a cage tour. You want to demonstrate any part of the cage? And then I have a ladder that goes out. I usually have the ladder cover on, but it didn't really match the theme, so I took it off. Howl, please leave my legs alone. And then a little mat there because it will slide around on floor. And then what's neat about this cage is the bottom part has a storage compartment. So I have their first aid kit, and then I have a bunch of extra bedding, extra hammocks down there. And then up top, I keep cleaning supplies, the garbage, anything that I don't want them to get into. I have a water bottle of water to fill up their bowl, and more cleaning supplies, paper towels, extra bed. And yeah, so I wanted to mention though that with this cage, even though the bars are vertical like this, so it's hard for the ferrets to climb, they will still find a way to do it, especially if you don't have this cover on it. So Howl has climbed up many times this side next to the wall, so he'll push his back to the wall and climb up the cage. You really want to be careful about that and watch your ferrets when they're, you know, around this cage before you leave them alone free roaming, because they will find a way to climb up the top, and then that's a really bad falling hazard. Some other things about this cage: it does have a tendency to rust after a while. It's easy to clean though. Yeah. Oh, How's going in the sleeping sack? How's going in the sleeping sack? Oh, hello. That is all that I have today for this ferret cage tour. Thank you so much for sticking around and following me, subscribing to me, I guess I should say, liking my videos, commenting. I read all the comments. I try to respond to all of them. And if you have any questions at all, feel free to message me. But I will see you guys in my next video. All right, bye.